And today I told y'all we got another wonderful guest. Pardon me, I'm just getting over a cold and but we have another exciting guest, and I'm really looking forward to this guest telling her story. I'm telling y'all, we get the best of the best, the creme of the creme of social media, and authors, investors, all kind of entrepreneurs, and they just want to come on, make a plan, make it happen TV. And I told y'all we was going to keep bringing some more wonderful folk. So I know it's another day in the neighborhood. So y'all, let's get this show started. So I'm about to introduce our guest on the other side. Back at you again. No, we don't got no sound this week. I got some stuff to work on. But anyway, we're so glad that our esteemed guest is here. We're going to bring her on in a matter of a few minutes. Now, let me go to the. Oh, Lord, what did I do with the doggone thing? All right. Our esteemed guest is Teresa Chase. And she is. She is. Hold on. Wait a minute. Where did that go? Hold on. Hold on. Input. Where did it go? Every week is something different. Can you hear me, Teresa? Can you hear me, Teresa? Okay, good. Every week is something different. Now, back to what I was saying, y'all. Y'all, please forgive me. We have some technical difficulties on my side. Okay. Our esteemed guest, Teresa Chase. Her main quote is, "I'm glad I didn't give up when folks said the odds were against me." And y'all should take that to heart, because that's a good one. She is a staunch believer in saying that Lord have mercy. It, see, things happen, y'all. We gonna see anytime we have distractions like this, it's always gonna be a good show. Now, back to the session at hand. Teresa Chase is a staunch believer in saying, see a need, feel a need. She lends her voice and creativity to ensuring that children of color are represented adequately. As a direct reflection of her collective experience and those who have poured into her, the Tennessee born, Laurinburg, North Carolina raised visionary uses a unique blend of education and empowerment to create relatable characters through her coloring and activity books for young children. Loosely based on one of her nieces, a goddaughter, and her three sons, two of which are neurodivergent, Teresa has created a space for children to discover unyielding possibilities rather than perceived limitations. With the release of her first activity book, The Mighty Squad, Careers A through Z in late 2019, Teresa ditched the traditional gender-specific roles we often adopt to create a judgment-free environment that promotes self-worth while championing intellect and celebrating beauty. Since her first release, the Meredith College graduate has authored 5 additional titles. I don't have to. This is Spanish, so I'm gonna struggle through this one. She over there cracking up. Trust me. El Escuadron Poderoso Esplendorando Correas, The Mighty Squad, Feelings A through Z, Ava's Math and Fun Book, Dead Time, and most recently, The Mighty Squad explores STEAM. Teresa is quickly becoming a bold and impactful advocate for underrepresented children of color as she simultaneously nurtures the well-being of her family when she isn't coming up with innovative new ways to conquer the world. The ambitious mom of 3 and her husband, Jermaine, are capturing each of life's fleeting moments through photos, videos, books, and lessons. Y'all, we must bring this fabulous young lady to the show. Our esteemed guest, Lord have mercy. Let's bring on the show, Miss Teresa. How are you, my friend, Miss Teresa Chase? Mrs. Teresa Chase. How are you doing this wonderful day?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I know I botched all over that. Please don't kill
You
me.
did
Don't give me no
great.
black eye tomorrow. Tell Jermaine don't beat me up. I couldn't read it right. I went to Detroit public schools. I don't know the better.
I think that that's the beautiful thing about collaboration because I'm not a Spanish speaker either. I'm not bilingual. I wish I was. Maybe one day I will be.
Okay.
But so yeah, no points off for not being able to pronounce the Spanish translation of the Mighty Squad Careers A to Z.
Well, that is quite impressive to see what you do. So tell me, what made you decide to start writing?
So it's a lot of reasons, honestly. For one reason, I wanted to make sure that I was able to create lessons for my children in a way that even if I wasn't physically there, that they would still be able to learn the lesson that I felt like was really important for them to know.
Mm-hmm.
So, writing is one way to do that. And yeah, I also wanted to think about how I could do something that could help other children.
Okay.
So, making the books available to have in other homes was the next step.
Wow. So, when did you start your actual writing journey? Because I see all this wonderful stuff you've done. When did you start? When did you pick up that pen and that paper?
The first book was actually my first writing project.
Really?
So yes, I dabbled in crafts like making T-shirts and signage and things like that. So that was my first experiences with kind of trying to design and do layouts and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I released the Mighty Squad Explores Career, or the Mighty Squad Careers A to Z, that was actually my first book that I've ever written.
Really? So,
Yes.
what was the response once you first? No. What was? How did you feel when you actually had that book in your hand? How did it feel? That's question number one.
I'm a doer, so I felt satisfied with
Mm.
my efforts,
Okay.
and I felt proud of myself. Um, Going up, the journey of putting the book together, because I work full time, um, a corporate job, and of course, being a wife and mom, I didn't have a lot of time to spend nurturing the project, at least not during the traditional workday.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to work on the book like before school. So
Mm.
before I drop my kids off, sometimes when we got to school early, I would pull out my laptop and be kind of working until it was time for the kids to be able to actually go inside of the school. My son's school at the time started at like, I don't know, 7:45, 7:30
Mm-hmm.
maybe. I feel like it was pretty early. And then I would go leave his school and go to my job, and I would sit in my car and work for another 30, 45 minutes before my workday got started. And then maybe I'd work on it some on my lunch. Maybe I would work on it in the evening after the children went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt very satisfying to know that I could um, I could stretch the 24 hours
Mm-hmm.
to get everything I wanted to get done.
Wow. So, how was the a response? Did you have a traditional book signing? Oh,
I didn't do a book signing.
okay.
Um, I honestly did not do a great job marketing the book after it was done. I shared it with my friends, my personal social media,
Mm-hmm.
with some coworkers, and one really really cool coworker of mine loved the book so much. He was like, "This is a great workbook." He's like, "There's some adults that would benefit from this."
Mm-hmm.
And what he did is he decided to buy $300 worth of books. And he told
Wow.
me that I could give them to anyone that I wanted. And I chose to give those books to boys that were in the care of a social worker
Mm-hmm.
who I graduated from high school with because I feel like Black boys are targeted so frequently in negative ways,
Right.
and I wanted to kind of target them in a positive way. So I was able to give away dozens of books to boys that were in situations where a social worker needed to be involved,
Mm-hmm.
as well as to underserved community here in Durham,
Mm.
um, so that those boys could also have access to a material that I thought was good good enough for my boys,
Right.
so sharing it with those guys as well.
Wow, that is just impressive because I'm sitting here, I'm like, wow, that's how did see a need, feel a need? How did that come about?
Well, that's a really cool question. I think that in every area of our life, we, if we're observant, can see a need. So that need might be in the summer, making sure that your elderly neighbor has air conditioner or ice or a fan, that's seeing a need and
Mm-hmm.
feeling a need. As it relates to the books, one of the other reasons that I decided to create the Mighty Squad is because you don't see a lot of groups of 5 Black children who are exploring, learning, being developed,
Mm-hmm.
becoming emotionally intelligent. That's not something that I see in the market as it relates to purchasing products for my children.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a need that I saw. And in creating the Mighty Squad, I'm able to feel that need. And there are some unique things about the Mighty Squad that makes it even more um, a reason, even more of a need,
Okay.
because 2 of my boys are actually on the autism spectrum.
Really?
Yes, so they are neurodivergent.
Wow.
And the one thing that I want to do as I continue to develop the brand is to create more stories that focus on the experiences of people who are neurodivergent, people with autism,
Mm-hmm.
people with sensory processing disorder, or people that are just shy and misunderstood, like Gabby, or
Mm-hmm.
people who have something that's visually noticeable, like alopecia, like
Yes.
the
Yes.
character Lizzie.
Wow.
And then the fifth character that I haven't talked about yet is Max, who's the baby of the family, who just wants to be independent, wants to not be treated like a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really like the kids next door, but the kids next door in a neighborhood like I grew up in, not necessarily someplace that Black people can't relate to.
Now, are these characters based off of any of your relatives?
Yep,
Really?
yep, yep. So my 3 boys are Ken, Liam, and Max.
Okay.
So I'll show you on the Mighty Squad Explore Steam. So this is the most recent cover. I don't know how to
Nice.
show it.
Yeah, you're doing a fine job, sis. You're doing a fine
Okay, so
job.
this character is Liam.
Okay, Liam.
I have a Liam. One of my sons is Liam.
Okay,
This character is Lizzie. She's
Lizzie.
the character that has alopecia.
Wow.
This character is one is Gabby in the astronaut suit,
Okay.
and then we have Max in the middle, who's being an artist,
Okay.
and then there on the end we have Ken, and it's my 3 boys, my niece, and my goddaughter. So those are for namesake. Those are the characters' names, and also adopting some of their characteristics,
Hmm.
challenges, in the stories that will be developed.
Was it easy to pull from experience of dealing with them to write this book or write that particular book?
So I think that it wasn't hard. I
Okay.
don't think it was hard. And the books are each of the books are exposing children to a topic. So the
Mm.
first book I wrote was The Mighty Squad Careers A to Z. And
Okay.
in that book there's a career for every letter. So A, accountant,
Mm.
be ballet dancer, you know.
Mm.
So that is kind of the flow of the book. So it's just a topic and them learning about career options because it's a popular thought that you have to go to college in order to be successful.
Right.
And that is not a belief that I hold.
Mm-hmm.
I took the college route, but I think that a lot of people are starting to realize that you can have a successful life without, also having a lot of debt. um,
You're right about that.
so so yeah, the second book I did, and I'll show you.
Yes, let's
I
see
took
that,
these off
please.
of my wall before the I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show it to you. So this is the Mighty Squad careers A to Z. So you see the same characters:
Yes.
Gabby, Liam, Ken,
Max.
Lizzie, and Max.
Yes. Yes.
And then the second book I did was the Mighty Squad feelings A to Z. And let's see if I can get that in focus enough.
Yeah, I see it.
So, this is the book that's going to help your children become more emotionally intelligent, giving them language with feelings. I know in the Black community, sometimes, especially Black boys, you can be happy or you can be sad, but you can't, it can be acknowledged that you're angry, but you can't be angry,
Oh
and
yeah.
there's a whole spectrum of emotions and feelings that a person can have. So there's a feeling for every letter of the alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that is Feelings A to Z. And then the last book that I'll have branded as the Mighty Squad is the Explorer STEAM, where
Mm-hmm.
there is an experiment. There's actually two experiments for every category inside of STEAM. So science, technology, engineering, art, and math.
Mm. That.
I'm sorry, that was a long answer.
No, no, no. It was a good answer.
Okay.
Wow. Now, I'm going to slide in here, y'all. I want y'all to go to themightysquad.com, themightysquad.com, and get her, purchase her books. I know they on Amazon. We know that. But please help Teresa and her cause by going to her website, themightysquad.com. I would have it on here, but I'm struggling. But anyway, y'all know
You're
I'll be
doing
cutting up.
great. You're doing
But
great.
please support her because, as y'all can see, that artwork is on point as she talks about Liam, Lizzie, Gabby, Max, and Ken. These are
Hmm.
stories that will relate to your children or your nephews, your nieces, your cousins. Somebody can relate to these stories. So please help Teresa as she gets the word out. Now, back to our interview. I think you were doing such a fabulous job. So, these are these this is like a set that you have.
They're each purchased individually.
Okay.
Um, the the mighty so I kind of want to give a little more insight into,
Go
especially
ahead.
the Mighty Squad Explore Steam. If I can,
Go
I
ahead.
gotta
I
figure out the
got it.
angles.
I got it.
So here is an example of an experiment.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is Lizzie uh, building a satellite, or wanting to build a satellite. I'm sorry. We'll see if I can get this
There
in
you go.
focus here.
Got it. Building a
So
satellite.
building
Oh,
a
she has her
satellite.
supplies.
Yes. So the
Ah.
supplies that you need in order to build your satellite. And then on the
Nice.
other page is the actual experiment. And it also tells you like what supplies you need to put together this power source, and what it mimics. So,
Oh, that's nice.
so that's the solar panels. Um, so
Oh,
yeah, so this is kind of the layout of the Mighty Squad Explorer theme.
I like that.
Yeah. Yep. So this
Oh,
is Liam making ice cream.
that's Liam making ice cream. Oh, those are the supply list of the ingredients and then the how to do it. Oh, I like this.
And the really cool thing is, it's not just how, like a recipe of how to make ice cream at home. It's also telling you the science behind each of the steps. Like,
Oh, that's
why are these
nice.
ingredients the necessary ingredients for making your ice cream?
Well, we got a
So,
comment. Hold on. We got a comment. Hold on. Shayna
okay,
Danielle Parker says that's awesome.
thank you. I'm really excited about this project.
Yes.
This project in particular was a collaboration with a scientist out of Georgia,
Mm.
and another Black woman who's phenomenal, brilliant, also a mom, also works full time. And we worked on this activity book, this workbook for 2 years.
Wow.
Just working 30 minutes on Mondays, 30 minutes on Fridays,
Okay.
during our lunch breaks, so
Wow.
that we could get it done. But yeah, and right now we're
Mm.
actually um, doing a promotion. So for every book sold, um, we are giving the Mighty Squad is giving a copy of a book to a teacher. So when you're buying a book for yourself or for your family, you're also going to be sending a book to a teacher.
Got another comic here, sis. Tamika
Okay.
G says, I second that. Uh oh. You got the Map TV crowd getting excited. Uh huh.
Yes. Yes. So let me tell you a little bit more about this book then,
Go ahead.
since there seems to be some interest. So also in the technology section, we have kind of focusing on learning to code.
Oh,
So coding for
binary and
launch.
algorithm. Oh, I
Yes.
like that.
And the game in this scenario is you decode the color, and you color the I'm going backwards. You color the rocket ship, and once you finish decoding all of the words, all of the colors, color it, and then you blast off. So that is um one of the
That's
experiments.
nice.
Possibly my favorite experiment of the whole book is making sun s'mores. So let's see if I can get this in focus enough.
Yeah, making some
So
s'more.
this one kind of has a story,
Okay.
a little short story, where it's setting you up that Ken wants to make a treat. He wants a
Okay.
sweet snack, and but he only has a few ingredients. And he remembers a science class where the teacher tells how hot the sun is,
Mm
and he decides to take the things that he has access to and make sun s'mores,
hmm. Mm.
which, graham cracker, marshmallow, chocolate, using a pizza box, aluminum foil, and a black construction paper, and putting that outside in the sun for it to, melt your marshmallow and chocolate. So making sun s'mores. And again, the science involved is also documented throughout.
I like how it's laid out because it's different things they can get into. Because if they really like the coding, now you didn't expose them to coding, then
Exactly.
you got science there. Now you expose them to science, and I'm like, oh, I'm liking that. Oh, we'll talk about that for sure.
Yeah,
Cause
you get it exactly.
yeah,
And that's what it's
sweet.
all about. It's all about creating experiences, giving your children exposure to different things so that they can understand what the possibilities are.
That child, that's amazing. Thank you for
Thank
showing that.
you.
And I'm sitting there like, that's brilliant. I'm like,
Thank you.
I mean, I've seen different. Each guest we've had has a unique perspective as an author.
Mhm.
Pardon me, which has been brilliant. But this is different. I'm like, oh my God, you're teaching them algorithms and stuff like that. And some kids gonna get that book and it's gonna spark their career. Okay.
Absolutely. That's the hope.
Oh,
That's the hope. So yeah, I really do want to change the lives of children. My children and and all children really, and I'm really hoping that I'll be able to get this book in more homes.
Yeah, we gotta talk to that. Lord, I'm like, huh? So now you graduated from Meredith College,
Hmm.
and you got 5 books to your credit. How do you find time to do the? Not only is you mama, your wife, and a corporate job. Do you block out time to take all this stuff? Cause I saw your little
Yeah.
board over there. I saw a little writing over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Writing things down is definitely helpful. I
Okay.
think that balance is incredibly necessary. I'm a creative person, so it's enjoyable for me. A part of balance is doing things that you enjoy. When you
Mm-hmm.
find things that you enjoy and things that can be helpful to others, it's especially motivating. So, how do I find time? Um, it depends on what that season of my life looks like. If it's carpool, if it's maybe doing it between carpool and going to work, or starting my workday. Now that
Wow.
everything's virtual and I work from home, it's easier to pack in some assignment, some task during the lunch hour, between meetings sometimes, before work, after work. Um, but for the Mighty Squad Explore Steam,
Mm-hmm.
because it was a collaboration, I was pretty much restricted to working during that 30 minutes on lunch on Monday and 30 minutes on lunch on Fridays. But during that time, I was also doing Pilates twice a week, during my lunch. So like on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Pilates. On Wednesday,
Wow.
date with my husband during lunch,
You
So,
better find time
um,
for Jermaine.
yes,
Better find time for my
yes.
man. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
No, it's just about prioritizing for me, and I don't want to say just about, because I know that there are people who struggle with, compartmentalizing or breaking down a big task into smaller tasks.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people don't want to give themselves the time that's necessary in order to finish a big project. So if you're patient with yourself, if you're willing to, like you say, block some time, um, you can do This project was literally 2 years in the making. We started talking in 2019, and we didn't start working on it until the beginning of 2020. But it's almost 2023, and the book has only been out, since mid-September. So yeah, we talked about it for a while. Took a couple months of planning and figuring out exactly what the layout was going to be. Being flexible in the plan helped a lot. But yeah, I'm really happy with the end result.
Well, we got a couple comments here. Shayna
Okay.
Danielle Parker said time management is the key. Then
Mm,
she says we have to put pressure on our time and we will realize we can get more done in less time. I love it. See, Teresa, I told you. I knew I knew it. I said she's eager. She's gonna do a fine job. I knew it. I'm like,
thank you.
y'all, and we aren't finished, y'all. Please, themightysquad.com. She showed y'all those wonderful books that she has created with the help of her husband and staff. You see the artwork on that? You see the detail in those books
That
that she
was
showed
another
y'all?
really cool collaboration.
Really?
So because I cannot draw.
Hold on. Who drew? Who drew? Who drew?
His name is Keith Stevens. His handle on IG and Facebook everywhere is Art Makes Smiles with a Z at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him I had this idea for a project, and I asked him if he would be willing to be my illustrator. And he was like, "Yeah, let's get it." So, so I sent him a list of what art. Well, actually, he is the only person that has ever drawn a Mighty Squad character.
Wow.
Um, I told him my idea of who I wanted, about using my children and my niece and my goddaughter as inspiration, and he asked for pictures of them, and I got the Mighty Squad characters. It's really cool.
Please
I
show that again.
actually,
Please show that cover again. Y'all got to see. Y'all got to see this.
I think this was
Look
my
at that.
favorite. Uh-oh. So
Look
this
at that.
is, I don't know, it's in
Okay.
glass, so,
Pull it back
but
just a
yeah.
little bit. There we go. Look at that artwork. And it's age specific. I like it. Oh my
Thank
God.
you. Yep. So Keith Stevens has been an amazing collaborator. I'm very grateful. He actually has his own project he's starting now. It's super dope. I think it's called The Significant Six.
Okay.
Um, I think it's called The Significant Six, but look him up.
Okay.
Art Makes Smiles, Keith Stevens. He's going to do amazing things, and I can't wait to support.
We have Shannon says it looks amazing.
Thank
See,
you.
the best compliment is when someone sees your stuff, they see the quality of your stuff, and they comment on it. So,
Yes.
Teresa, you are doing the
Even
thing.
better is when they buy
Yes,
it.
that's why I said we gotta talk after.
Yes, yes,
Oh
but
my
yeah, it's a
God,
labor of love.
you are doing fine, young lady. I am so
Thank you.
very proud of you. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying? Since I found out, North Carolina, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna talk about we ain't gonna talk
Yeah.
about that. So you come what new you have new ways of conquering the world through books and photos. Wait a minute, photos. Okay, who's taking pictures? That's something I gotta know. Who's the
I
photographer?
love having my family photographed. I'm
Really?
not a photographer, but
Okay.
it's really important for me. My family takes pictures once a year. It's my Mother's Day gift. My husband does not
Oh.
limit my budget for shopping for clothes. So yeah, Mother's Day every year we take family photos.
I've seen the photos. They are so professional. Okay, you
Thank
had that
you.
white background. See, I take pictures. That's why I had to ask.
Oh, you're a photographer too.
I was looking
Yes.
at the detail. I said, "Oh, he or she know what they're doing." So they
Yeah.
bring out the essence, and then the outfits that you all have, spot on,
Thank you.
spot
Thank you.
on.
Yes. And the photographer out of Durham, Elizabeth Ashley and Company, does amazing work. So definitely check her out as well. But yeah, she's actually an artist too. She does, that's how she started her entrepreneurship,
Okay.
painting. But yeah, I love supporting people. I love trying to keep the dollar black a little because it don't last long. It
It
don't
don't.
stay
It don't.
black
It don't.
long.
It don't. It don't.
Um, so so yeah, definitely want to make sure I shout out the dope people. The picture that you used on a flyer also actually was photographed by Elizabeth Ashley and Company.
Okay, let me give you your credit first of all. Pardon me, my throat. One, you was on time. Two, I didn't have to beg you for what stuff I needed. Bio, your information, your you gave me three corporate headshot. I was so impressed because you were ready.
Thank
You were
you.
on time. And see, you're a part of something that's about to blow up, and you can always say you've been on Map TV. And for that, since you came on show, you get to come back, okay? Because it's about the
Awesome.
game is changing, okay? For Map
Yes.
TV, it's about to well, it's already going worldwide. We've been in Dubai, we've been in Canada, yeah.
Awesome.
So we're about to do some things, but you were on time and you were hungry. You raised your hand. You didn't sell me out. It's important because you never know who's connected to someone, and you're doing the right thing. And I give you credit because the more you show up on Clubhouse, whether it's my rooms or other people's rooms, and you speak, it's just going to draw an audience to what you do. So I must give you credit for that because you didn't sell me out. And I was like, oh no, we gonna do her show right, okay? Because you never know who's watching, you never know who's that connect from watching, and you never know what the next step of blessing is. That's why it's always important to show up. Now, uh, quick question: what kind of things are you doing going forward into 2023 to promote your books? What do you have planned?
So I actually was challenged to email all the principals of schools in Durham, North Carolina, or just in Durham, North Carolina. I think if I went larger, if I did all of North Carolina, that would be cool too. So I've written the email. I haven't collected all of the email addresses yet, but that's definitely one of the things. Just doing a better job telling people about the products because um, every time I talk about the products and, people can see that I'm genuine, um, I talking about the product, someone always buys it. Anytime I talk about the product, I get a sale, at least one. So I just need to talk about it more. I need to allow people to see it more. So that's one of the things that I'm working on going into 2023. Just getting the word out there. Which your show is an amazing vehicle for that.
Well, thank you.
Allowing me to get in front of your audience. So yeah, as often as I have the opportunity, I want to be able to carve out some time to talk about the Mighty Squad.
Yes, because your pardon me, your product has a way of touching folk, and it needs to be in the school districts. But be prepared because eventually you're going to have an assistant because you're going to be bigger. And once you do one school system, it leads to another. You're just in North Carolina. There's South Carolina,
Mm,
Georgia, Virginia, West Virginia, D.C., Maryland, New York, New Jersey,
yeah,
Connecticut. You have to. You're gonna have to
yeah,
scale up. So you got to get staff because you're going there. Okay. The Mighty Squad needs to be. See, and I'm gonna say this: when you tap into these schools, you got to be ready for uh, book sales. You got to be ready for speaking engagements. You got to be ready for
mhm,
that. So you're gonna have to get your
yeah.
assistant in 2023. I'm just saying.
Amen. I received
You
that.
gonna have to. You got
I
to get your
received
assistant
that.
because your product has a way. Your gift will make room for you, but then you got to be ready for the overflow. Okay.
Hmm.
Once you do
Yeah.
that, you got to figure out, okay, how am I going to speak at these different places, whether they have something on Saturday, then that's going to go into the church crowd because John P. Key is in your city. I know
Hmm.
that. John, yeah.
There's
So,
something else.
so see, all it takes is a word of mouth and somebody like him. Oh, and then the next thing you know, it's traveling. So, um,
Right.
for you to get there, just be prepared because it's a journey. But with stuff like this, and the more interviews that you do, and the more products you sell, it's gonna position you to do it all the time. If that's your goal,
Yes,
just
definitely.
holler at me because I know some folk that could really help you in that guidance. And yes, we will talk after the show. But you're doing fine. Uh, I'm proud of you
Thank
because
you.
you anytime you want to go to the next level, you pray the prayer first, but then you gotta do the work. It means
Hmm.
raise your oops, there go the hand. Raise your hand. Then you don't know what it's gonna lead to. That's why you walk when you step out on faith, you just don't know where it's gonna go. No idea. The next thing you know, you be like, "Oh, I remember I did this. I remember I did that." And then the next thing you know, here comes the blessing, and you and Jermaine will both partake of it, along with the children and the nieces. You have done admirably. I am so proud of you, Teresa. Do you
Thank
have
you.
any last words you want to tell the audience?
I know that this meeting was, and this interview was primarily about the Mighty Squad, but I would like to tell you about one of the other products that you kind of read out in my bio.
Go
It's
ahead.
called Dad Time
Oh,
because I feel like dads don't get enough love.
no, we don't.
And I want to fix that. I have an amazing husband who is like the primary parent. It feels like most families, it's like the mom. You got to talk to the mom about when the doctor's appointment was or all the things. My husband does all of the things, and I'm so grateful. And I think that is one of the reasons why I can do some of the things that I do. So Um, Dad time is an opportunity to bond with dad and child, for dad and child to bond. And
Mm.
there's two different versions of dad time.
Okay.
One version of dad time is if dad and kid are in the home together.
Mm.
So after dinner, you want to work on it. Okay, Dad. I'm going to color my copy. You color your copy, and we're going to talk. We're
Mm.
going to talk about outer space. We're going to talk about our day. We're going to talk about what colors we're using, depending on what age your child is, what color, spell the color, just bonding opportunities. And the other version of dad time is dad time for one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is dad's not in the home today in
Mm.
order to do the work with you. And in that scenario, I'm not sure if I have a copy um, really close to me. Yeah. Um, so dad's not in the home. Dad's on a trip. Dad's lives away. Whatever the case is, you have dad time for one. So so dad can have a
Wow.
copy, child can have a copy, and they can do the same thing. All of the activities are fun, but also I have conversation starters. Like the one I just showed is when I was little. And you see it's like some little fun patterns and stuff in the letters. And the idea is for dad to tell the child about their life when they were little,
Mm-hmm.
and for a kid to tell dad what his life or her life was like when they were little, right? But it's full of different activities that are going to help to give dad the language to say what I see my husband being and wanting for my kids. Um, this is an unscramble activity.
Mm.
And it's like, dad wants these things for me. And dad wants me to be courageous. He wants me to be fair. Fairness, grit, happiness, health, hope, independence, integrity, passion, safety,
Wow. Oh
success.
my God.
And
Uh
so
huh.
maybe you make it a competition. And I'll show you this one last thing about dad time, just so you can kind of see
Yes, please
how it
do.
is
Please do.
when it's dad and child. So you see one of them's upside down
Oh
and one of them's right there.
yes.
So we're
Oh.
sitting across from each other and we're doing, we're working on the book.
Oh
So
Jesus. Wow.
amazing Father's Day, amazing stocking stuffer for dad. Get them this and a pack of crayons, and you can just go. Mama can go have a bubble bath. The other partner can just go chill for a little while. So so this is dad time.
I got a couple comments I gotta read for you.
Okay,
Shayna Danielle Parker says, definitely reach out to the schools. I believe in selling in bulk. You're going to go far. That's a compliment.
thank you.
Secondly, her husband, Adam Parker, says, that's awesome.
Awesome.
Thirdly, she says, girl, my husband do it all. Praise God for amazing husbands and fathers. Her husband is. So,
I know everybody doesn't have one, but for the ones that are not there yet,
mhm,
our husbands are just going to have to show them the way.
right. And you got another one. Tamika G says, I love this. It is giving a great bonding time for fathers and the child. See there? Oh my
Yeah, that's the
goodness.
goal. That is the goal, to structure some time, because sometimes you just don't know what to do. Dad sitting on the phone, kids sitting on the tablet. Y'all can color. That's some good rainy day, good between screen things to do.
Sis, man, wow. I knew. See, anytime it's a powerful guest where a message has to go through, it's always a challenge in the beginning. And as we keep going, that's why I tell people don't quit. It can't be perfect when you start. It gets better, but it's going to be issues, but you got to keep going forward. You just
Right.
brought the house down, especially that last part. You say the best for last, cause yes, her dad.
Well,
You know what I'm
yay.
saying. I'm
I'm glad you
proud.
like it.
God,
Yeah, I'm
yes.
excited about these products, and I got to do a better job marketing. So thanks again for having me. Thanks for sending me everything I needed to do to be able to be on, and I'm really grateful.
You welcome.
And I'm looking forward to our next talk.
Yes, you. Trust me, I got you. I got you. I got you. See, certain folks stand out because they made great guests, and then you brought the house down with your story and your product. I mean, your product. I'm like, preparation is key. You had everything laid out for what you was gonna talk about. Perfect. You had your bio. You had 3 headshots. Normally I get one. You had 3. Perfect. You submitted your stuff on time. I had to hunt you down. Perfect. You was an engaging guest. I ain't had to, you know, that's all you know. Talk. This ain't Jerry Springer. This is a conversation. This ain't, for, I didn't feel like talking because I'm scared that you're going to, no, just enjoy. And so I knew, I said, nah, she's going to be good. We're going to have a good time. I knew that. See, see, Clubhouse, I'm kind of structured. I don't say too much comedy. I just, yes, I'll say something eloquently, and I'll drop the mic in a few minutes because it ain't my room. So then, but you stood up, you stood out, you talked about Liam, Lizzie, Gabby, Max, and Ken, and you talked about Jermaine. I'm so impressed at what he does to be your rock and to be there for you. Is you tell him I said hi. Look forward to when I'm in North Carolina. Hey, where y'all at? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what's up.
Yeah, because I was like this, and then furthermore, you're able to do the interview with no distractions. That says a lot. I'm
Well, I
proud of
don't know
you.
how much longer that's gonna
Yeah, I
last.
know
I'm
because we
surprised too.
go, we go, we go, leave it at that. But Chai, thank you, and do not hang up because I got to end the show. And
Okay.
see y'all now. Don't forget y'all. Y'all go to the MightySquad.com. Please order her books. Did you see all the books that she had? Did you see the stuff that she brought to Map TV and just blew the lights and all this? She just blew them. She just blew. Shoot, I couldn't even move right. She blew it out the water, and she was prepared. Did you see how she was prepared? She had everything that she needed to talk about. She wasn't fumbling through nothing. She was ready. She was ready. And she brought her story. She was ready. She was on time. She didn't sell me out. She showed up on time. I told her the time. She didn't diss me and then just say, "Oh, I'm coming on your show." And then first time you want to come on my show, didn't show up. Then second time didn't show up. She didn't do that. She showed up. That's the
So
key.
did.
See that? She she showed in. So y'all, as I said, thank all of you who have stayed and watched another episode, and also we have a couple of more shows that we're going to do, and then we will have our season finale for season 1 is coming up. So y'all stay tuned, and thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for our next exciting show.